types having different lease structures and different CAM structures and different recovery and rent structures, how important is it for property managers to continue their education and mix their different experiences in order to be able to handle a mixed use assignment? Like, is that something, like, are you working on that? Are you working on that? Like, is the mix working on that? How do we collaborate and educate across service lines?
Yeah, I mean, great question. I mean, I think it just starts with education for sure. We know that this industry is a little bit of a high turnover industry, and it really starts with education. I know there's definitely an opportunity in multifamily to understand CAM charges and, just even the nuances of, we are so quick to make decisions and not involve the retail space that we're billing back to. And I think that's super important that we collaborate, and again, we have that education for our leaders on site, running our multifamily projects, because, again, if we're having a vendor come out that's super expensive that maybe the retail can't support paying back, that's going to be very challenging, right? And again, it's going to affect their business, then ultimately affect our business. So to answer your question, it really comes with education for sure.
Yeah, I was just talking with the JLL industrial group here about how you can manage industrial assets, and you get thrown in an office asset, and it's like speaking French. Like, what is this? I have to do everything. I thought my tenants didn't want to see me, and suddenly they want to see me every day. And I feel like in a mixed-use project, it's like drinking from a fire hose. And I think that's why organizations like BOMA and other network and trade organizations. Shout out! I'm gonna do a quick plug for BOMA here. I feel like getting your RPA or something like that is so important because it separates good property managers from great property managers. If you can speak the language of different asset types. If I can walk into a Mark Taylor apartment complex and speak the language of that manager and understand their, what they're dealing with, versus an industrial asset with a client who maybe doesn't understand that, I think that will really separate you and make you more marketable as well. So
I've been doing this a while, and I'm still learning. I sit in on pricing calls for multi because I want to learn more about multi. But you're in the JLL, I don't want to make this JLL centric, but if you know Carrie Trongun, who leads our education platform, she's building a platform just for managers that want to understand mixed use. I don't think it can't end at education. There's nothing that speaks for experience. I use this term that I get, I learned it at church, but it's epigenosis. Gnosis is knowledge in the Greek. Epigenosis is I did it. I learned it by doing it. And I had my spiritual epigenosis at 3 or 4 mixed-use projects. And to your point, I thought everybody was speaking a different language when I got in there, because multi is different than, to your point about CAM and whether their language that they use, their, even the resident journey, things that are very ubiquitous in your world are not so much in other people's worlds. So I think being able to work and just sit in, if you're on a mixed use project, the best thing you can do is sit in on a pricing call, sit in on a CAM rec for somebody for retail, because retail says CAM, office says OPEX. Everybody's, like I said, it's all this different languages. And when I built the mix, I said, stop, we need to unify the language. We need to come up with a singular vocabulary, a lexicon that is just mixed use. So, trust me, I'm struggling. It started with a branded material. It's very difficult. We call the people that run these projects unicorns. City mayors, we'll call them whatever, pick your term, but I will go in and pitch you and say, we got to find your unicorn. What does that mean? Multi-stakeholder, people have worked in a multi-stakeholder environment that hopefully have some experience in one, maybe 2 of the 3, but not all. Then they can figure it out. Like our guy in Coral Gables is not a multi guy, but he has a multifamily manager that he can direct and he learns from. And he gets better and better every day, but we still need that subject matter expert in multi to do it, right, Chad? I see you nod your head. It's you got to find your commonality, your blend, because it's hard to learn it all. I'm still learning it, and I've been in this, going on 10 years now, trying to demystify, mixed use. It's tough.
Well, thank you.